never seem to call me lately.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Fishing Barents Sea. I'm Cronin, thanks for joining us. And at the end of our last episode, we'd been out with our little boat here, got crabs, and we'd essentially been running some long lines, trying to get enough money here so we can move up to our next boat. Now, the next ship that we'll be looking at is the Selfie, because this will allow us to not only use the long lines, but also the net fishing and the crab pots as well. Now, we need 450k to get the boat. We're currently on just short of 90. Now, if we take a look at the bank are actually offering us 450k to get the boat. However, to get the boat, we need to travel another I believe 8 kilometers to get this boat. So what we're going to do is we're going to do one more run with the long lines. That will give us a bit extra cash, so we can do some upgrades on the boat as soon as we get it. So we'll jump straight in here. Now we're going to go for, if we take a look at our logbook at the moment, haddock season's just started, so they're offering higher price for haddock, so that's going to be our target fish for today. So what we'll do is we'll come in and we'll get our long lines baited, and we need mackerel for catching haddock, so we'll grab a bunch of those. We're fully fueled up, everything's prepared, so let's head out to sea and see what we get. Get out without damaging the boat this time. Let's try going backwards instead. Okay, not too bad, nobody died. So we'll come out of this area here, we will open up our map and see where we're headed to. So we've got a little patch of haddock up here. Once we get the next boats, we'll explore some of these other areas and open up the map a little bit. We'll get the big radar on the next boat so we can open up the map a lot faster. So first things first, I'll set our waypoints up to the haddock up here. So about there. Hopefully the weather's kinder to us this time. There we go. So once again, as usual, we'll just set a waypoint here with some distance on it. Now the advantage of doing this is that as we head towards the waypoint, we get to measure the distance in between our different lines. So once we've laid a line, we can make sure we're leaving a gap of 100 in between. So start dropping our net from here. Now in the last video, I am aware there was some stuttering on the video after it being recorded, so I do apologise for that. Hopefully this one's a lot smoother. I was getting some stuttering in game, so hopefully all is resolved this time, so I do apologise for that. Okay, so the first one dropped around 750, so we want to throttle. Let's get to around about 650 metre mark, and then we'll drop our second net. Right about there. Take a look at the weather while we're here. Wind's not too bad, quite warm. Ideal fishing weather, you might say. Okay, so second one's out at 590, so I want to go to 490, drop the third net. Right there. Still on course, everything's looking good. I've actually forgotten I named my boat the Plug. Okay, so that's number 3. I've got 400 metres, so it'll be about 320, and then I'll drop the last net. Okay, around about there should do it. So, because we've got decent weather this time, we've actually got a pretty good straight line of nets, long lines out, so it should make things a little bit easier when we're coming to pick them up. Okay, so that's the last line out. So what we'll do, let's go to our map. So, if we clear our markers and we set a waypoint back to here, bear in mind we want to be hitting around about 18.5 hours by the time we get back here. Okay, so that's 6 hours out, 6 hours back would be 12, so we want to sleep for about 6 hours. So we'll pull back out of the dock. Give ourselves 6 hours of sleep. And go straight back out. Okay, get our waypoints out. That's 12. It took us about 6 hours from there to get back, so we should be roughly at the right time by the time we get there. With a bit of luck. Maybe a little early. Quite early. Yeah. Well, as always, we might as well take the opportunity. Just open up a single bit of the map. Come on. Let's go. There we go. For what that was worth. There we go. So about 19.5 to 20 hours, I think is probably our ideal target. Okay, so and because we've seen all this before, what I'm going to do is we're going to do a quick time lapse of the pickup of these lines, get the boat filled up hopefully, head back to the dock, and then we'll jump into the new boat, see what we need for outfitting, and then go from there. So we'll do a quick time lapse here and be right back. Hey guys, welcome back. Whilst I've been off camera here, what I've done is, in order to upgrade to the next boat, we needed to upgrade our license. Now, at the moment, as you can see, we needed 20 kilometers to get our next certificate. So what I've done is, we were about 6k short of that. So what I've done is I've just had a little drive around the map, just to increase the amount of time that we had driving around, or sailing around. When you're using the fast travel mode on the map, as I'm going to do now, unfortunately it doesn't count towards that that amount of distance that you've travelled. So in order to achieve your amount of distance for the certifications, what you need to do is you need to actually be driving around. Now, when you're using long lines, nets and so on and so forth, you do generally build up that distance over time. However, we're trying to expedite the process a little bit, so what we've done is, this is the load of fish that we just pulled up from our last set of long lines. So we've got about 3.1k of fish here, so I'm going to dock. As we can see, we're going to get about 65, 60, 67ish, 57ish, sorry. So yeah, it's a good chunk of money. So now that we've delivered our last load here, we should have our certification now, which we do. So this now unlocks the boat that we are looking to upgrade to. So jump straight into the dock. Got to purchase. Actually, no, we need to go to the bank first, don't we? So we'll go to the bank, and they're offering us 690 now. Do we take that or do we not? I'm thinking for the time being, because it's a good 5% on the interest rate, what we'll do is we'll go for the 480 to begin with. Okay, so now we'll jump into the dock, purchase boat, and we are going for the selfie. Now, to see what our next port of call would be, we'll either be looking at probably the Svalbard, which is a dedicated crab fishing boat. So or the Snarset. Now, depending on how well we do with the next ship, we may, well, we'll see how the first couple of fishing trips go, but we may jump straight to the Svalbard, because this allows us to do crab fishing in a big way. You can come back with millions from this boat. So for the time being, let's grab a selfie. There we go. A good looking ship by all accounts. A lot better than the one that we were in, that's for sure. So, we'll go into the dock. We'll change the name. And Shippy Mick Ship Face. Got to be very, very careful not to type that wrong. There we go. And straight away, let's have a look at the upgrade options that we've got. So we've got 167k. Now, what would probably be a prudent thing at this point is we're definitely going to need the radar for sure. So we'll get that upgraded. Now, what we want to consider with this boat is that we can do nets or crab pots. Now, I think because the event for the haddock is still on, we'll get the net hauler and we'll start off by doing some net fishing. So in terms of staffing for the boat, let's just have a quick look. So one crew, so I'm guessing that on this ship we probably just do all ourselves. I believe that even though it's got room for a crew, there isn't actually a slot for them to be particularly helpful other than being a cook, so it's a bit of a waste of time. So, for what we've got to get, let's take a look at our fishing options. So we've got long lines. So we've got long line equipment fitted at the moment. What we want to do is we want to switch this over to nets. So if we go into the upgrades and we go and get the net hauler instead. Now we can get the pot hauler as well, but I think we'll do a run with the nets and just see how we go, and then see what the state of play with the crab fishing is, because I'm not quite sure when the king crab season starts, but obviously we can run crab pots off this boat as well. So I'll stick with the net hauler for just now. We will check on how many nets we can use. So we can have 865 meter nets. So let's grab the nets. So go 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are 6k each, so we might as well just fill up the nets there. So we've got 85k left roughly. So let's have a look at the rest of the upgrades that we can get. So we've got the engine upgrades, fishing quotas, which we don't really need yet until we burn through the quota that we have. So I would say we can't afford to upgrade the engine at this point, so we might as well just grab first storage upgrade. And that's about all we can afford at this stage. So what we'll do is we'll hop out here. I don't believe there's anything else that we need. We can check the bar and just see if there's any jobs going. So there's 100 kilos of red fish to the cruise ship within 7 days, so that's worth taking. We'll probably grab some redfish in the nets, I would think. So we can give that a try. So here we go. So the inaugural journey. I'm just going to nudge the sound down here a little bit. That's quite loud. It's a little bit better. Okay, so let's have a look and see what the state of play with the fish is. So we probably want to stick with haddock for the time being, so I think we'll just head back up to this area up here. So come back up here, up to there, about there. Okay. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. There we go. So as always, we'll just set our waypoint over here, just so we can get an idea of where we're laying down. And let's go and lay some nets. Very loud ship, this one. So, tutorial for the drift nets. Choose net length, similar long lines. So yeah, basically exactly the same as the rest of the fishing gear. Keep them 100 meters apart. So let's drop our first one. Now, again, a little mini game here. We're just got to try and keep this as central as we can. If it goes too far off to the sides of the boat, it'll damage the net. So you can see this here will start to fill up red if you damage the net. So we'll try and keep this as central as possible. We're not too bad on the weather front, so it should be relatively easy. When the weather gets much worse, it can make this quite difficult to control. Although saying that, it's very, very difficult to actually damage the net when you're laying it down. So just keep it nice and steady, 165, I've got 670, so it'll be 570 will lay the second net. It's a very, very quick boat, this one. Really don't think we need the engine upgrade. So I'll lay the second one out there. Okay, not doing too bad. Now, because I'm not quite sure exactly how much we're going to fill our hold. I mean, we don't have a huge hold to start with. So that's 400. So I want to go to 300 and lay net number 3. Up there. That's pretty good. Yeah, so because we're not quite sure exactly what we're going to get from these nets, what we might do is lay the first line of 4 nets, go and unlock some of the map, and then come back, lay another 4 nets. So there's a bit of a gap in between them, so if we do have to pick up the nets and it fills our hold on the first 4, then we can head back, sell up, come back, pick up the next 4 nets. They should be ready to be collected at that point. So 125, so we've got 25. We're going to be right on the very edge of the zone that we picked out here. So drop that one there. Keep it nice and steady in the middle. Don't oversteer, because then you could find that you're just chasing the center point constantly. So just little corrections. Wait for this to get up to 165. And there we go. Okay. So that's a good line of nets there. What I might do is lay the other ones over here. So we'll set a waypoint over to there. Okay. Set our reference marker over here. But there should do. So, same again with the next 4. I think given that there's only about an hour and 3/4 in between these 2 strings of nets, we may struggle to go and sell up and then come back and pick up these nets before they actually go from blue back to green again. So we might have messed up the timings here a little bit, but for our first run, it's not a big deal. Like I said, this is going to be basically finding out how much we're going to get from a string of 4 nets at a time. If we fill up the hold on 4 nets, then that's great. We can just keep running strings of 4 with big gaps in between. So 770, go 670, lay the second one. There. it's 490, so I want to go to 390. Loving how fast this boat is compared to the last one. Makes getting around and oh, hello Mr. Whale. Don't get too distracted by the wildlife and let the net break. So yeah, the larger radar, the speed of the boat is going to make opening up areas of the map so much easier. So we're on last net here. As you can see, our first net's 2.5 hours old. Okay, so that's our 2 strings laid. Now, ideally what we'd like to do is we need to find a port. Our closest port to these nets are going to be still Hammerfest, I believe. But so we've now got 2.5 hours to the first, sorry, these have been in the water for 2.5 hours. So what we'll do is we will clear our waypoints. We'll head back to Hammerfest, like so. Okay, so we're about 4 hours out, so we'll want to probably rest for about 14 hours, I would say. And then our first net should be ready to pop, so let's hop into the port quickly. Very quickly now with our speedboat. Not too quickly that we trash it on the first journey though. Okay, so 14 hours to there. And let's go straight back out. I think we're going to be slightly late here. That's not too bad. 19 hours, that's okay. However, I do think we're definitely going to be late for our second set of nets though. So, the deal with picking up the nets here is much the same. So we head towards our first buoy here. Now as you can see, I'm coming in at a little bit of an angle. Where's the second one? So ideally need to get parallel in line with the second one as well, so might be at a bit of a bad angle here, but we'll try it. And there's our arrow, that's fine. Too quickly, I think. Oh, no. So this boat's going to take a little bit of getting used to in terms of its speed. And why am I not picking this up? What have I missed? Am I supposed to have a crew member here? Oh my god, I need another crew member. Ugh. Oh my goodness, the stupidity. Well. That's somewhat embarrassing. So, what I'll do is we are gonna end up probably blowing a good deal of this hull here. Oh, that's supremely annoying. So this is going to hurt our yield a little bit here. Okay, so into the town, and we've got one guy that we can pick, so let's grab him straight back out. No messing around. So while I'm travelling, very low stamina though, so I don't even think I want to get him cooking. So let's try and do our fastest journey that we can here. Oh, that's not too bad. I think we're doing okay. Possibly disaster averted. Whoa. Okay, coming in a bit too hot again. Get him into the hall. Okay, see if this works a bit better. There we go. Okay, so again, another mini game. Simple case of just pressing the buttons as they come up. You've got plenty of time to do it, so no need to rush really. Okay, so that's our first haul. We've also caught enough for our little job that we picked up there as well. So that's our first haul, and my goodness, we're going to fill up this hole really fast. Okay, so we've got the rest of the nets to haul in. So what I'll do is we'll pause the video here, guys. That'll do it for today, and we'll come back tomorrow, pick up the rest of the nets, and we'll definitely need some extra storage space. So that'll be all for today. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, if you liked the video, smash the like button, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.